I just arrived in Fez. Not the greatest plane journey. I couldn't leave my seat once because the turbulence the entire way was a little bit heavy. So that meant a little bit of an uncomfortable journey. But I'm here. It's a lot warmer than snowy London, and the journey begins. So let's go.
The wheel is his faithful assistant, Morocco Mo. Hiya, Morocco.
It is forbidden to talk to the driver.
Oh, sorry, Morocco.
I don't recall your name, but your Fez is familiar.
My name is Mustafa, and I'm the man who will be killing you now.
Who said?
Hey, so I've arrived in Fez. It's a Monday. Not the greatest start to the trip, it has to be said. Having arrived probably just 2 hours late from the flight from London, proceeded to try and get into the centre of Fez. There are no taxis. There were no taxis outside. There were no buses. There were no trains. Eventually, we found one person that was willing to take us for 150 dinar, which is about £12. I know you can get cheaper rides than that, but the reality was there were no options. I basically shared the ride with a 17-year-old Australian and a Kiwi guy. I mean, to be honest, he's a nice guy, but he seemed lost. So, you know, at the same time we were both lost. So I thought, let's do this together. We discovered his hostel was next to the place I was staying. Well, maybe 200 meters from where I was staying, so I said, let's share a taxi. We did. We got dropped at the sort of city gates, and that's where problems started. Basically, as soon as we arrived, it was very dark. 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. We were approached by some very shady characters, and I promised I would take him to his hostel. They kept following us, trying to offer us drugs, and kept saying no. Morocco is obviously famous for Morocco hash, so he kept showing us the Morocco hash, kept saying no. I knew there'd be problems, but I got him inside his hostel, and then I was waiting, just hoping that they would disappear, but of course they hadn't. So once I started proceeding to my hostel, basically down these narrow streets, which you will see later in the video, but at night time though, when there's no one around, a little bit intimidating. I then got into a scuffle with these people. They were demanding money. I made a bit of a run for it when I pushed them away. I found myself in an alleyway which I thought was where my hostel was. Thankfully it was the right place. I started banging on the wrong door. There was another scuffle. They were still attacking me. There's very weedy little characters. So the only problem is if they had a knife. I didn't have a knife. Maybe I should have had a knife, but at the same time, that's likely to be turned on me. Lucky I was led into a random house. They started speaking in Arabic. Told them to go away. They were still outside, and then hang on, there's the wind. Sorry, just get where there's no wind. It's raining at the moment. Yeah, not the greatest start. This is not how I envisioned Morocco to be, but I'm sure it's only going to get better. I did get a safe night's sleep. Very cold. It's raining. It is December, I guess, but let's go explore, and hopefully I don't run into these unsavory characters again. not sure I've just paid for. So I'm in this mosque. I just paid 20 dinar to get in, which is about £3.80. What you just saw on the camera is pretty much it. There isn't much more to it. It's now pissing down with rain, as you can see. Well, I don't know if you can see that if we focus. It's raining, and well, it's a little bit of peace and quiet off the sort of market lanes. But it is a wet day. Okay, there's a bit of a rainstorm going on at the moment, so I'm taking shelter, but right behind me, as you just saw in the footage, is a man buying chickens. Inside the place where he buys the chickens, there's lots of live chickens, so he basically picks a chicken, the guy cuts its head off in front of him, and then guts the chicken and sells him the chicken without the feathers, all done freshly in front of him. Shocking because obviously chickens are fully aware and conscious that they are seeing their friends die around them, but that's another issue, I guess. That's why some people choose to be vegetarians. Okay, there's a massive rainstorm happening right now, so it makes walking around Fez a little bit hard. I am wearing a raincoat, or at least some sort of raincoat. It makes a change, really. I have seen some animals die in the last 10, 15, 20 minutes. I've lost count of how many animals I saw die. All the halal way, so they're basically, their throats were cut, they were hung upside down, they're still, and their friends were all watching. This is the problem when you eat meat. Choose these, don't eat meat. One thing you can't really appreciate by the fact that this is just a video are the smells. When you're walking around, there's a strong sense of manure. When you're walking through the markets, you smell the spices. You smell dead animals because there's a lot of animals being killed, blood dripping everywhere. But the overall smell is generally sort of donkey poo. Where I'm staying, that's all you smell. It's a very nice place. It's 9.4 out of 10 on booking.com, but it still smells of donkey poo. I guess it's one of the things you have to get used to when you're in Fez. So this we find one of the most sort of well-known parts of Fez. On the rooftops, people are basically, this is where they dye the leather. And then what's interesting is the stench. There's basically donkey, sheep poo, animal excrement, you name it, just all sort of lining the walkways. They clearly bring the animals up here, they slaughter them, and then they dye the leathers. This is the tannery in these pools. So as you can see, different colours, and as you saw, there's yellow leather, there's there's sort of black leather, there's purple leather, and this is what they used to dye. Very old-fashioned, but it has to be experienced, I guess.
Remember me? This is not no. Huh? No. As you're like brother, I don't. Yeah, and here in the morning, people work zafran by hand, yellow color.
One jump ahead of the slowpokes, one skip ahead of my doom. Next time, gonna use a nom de plume. There he is! One jump ahead of the hitman, one hit ahead of the block. I think I'll take a stroll around the block.
Hey, so it's my second full day in Morocco, day 3 really, and yeah, yesterday was not such a good day. I'll be honest, I haven't had a good experience at Fez. I met some nice some nice international backpackers. I saw a little bit of live music. Sadly, my phone died, so you don't get to see that. But the nightlife pretty much ended at 8 o'clock. But that was not the reason I had a bad day. Just after the footage of the tannery, or just during that footage of the tannery, I went there with an American couple, an American guy, lovely guy, and his, I think, girlfriend, who was from Mexico, and we basically got cornered at the top of the tannery by a group of guys, and one guy especially was particularly vicious. And he was basically demanding money. I was refusing to give the money, but these guys are getting super aggressive. I think if the American hadn't have paid, I don't know what would have happened. But this is just a ridiculous thing. I've been traveling now for 9 months, no problems, and then in the space of 24 hours in one town, Fez, problem after problem. They say Marrakesh is a city of thieves. Well, guess what? Fez is a city of thieves. So many people are causing problems. Do I like Fez? Can't say I'm much of a fan. The highlights, according to TripAdvisor, were some of the mosques. I didn't rate them. The market, interesting, but I'm not a fan. But guess what? It's a beautiful day now. I'm going to try and look on the bright side. This video has started incredibly badly. I can only apologize, but now I need to. I'm at the Fez, Gare de Fez, which is the Fez station, and I'm on my way to Mekes. So let's see what that's like.
One jump ahead of the hoofbeats, one hop ahead of the hump, one trick ahead of disaster. They're quick, but I'm much faster. Here goes, better throw my hand in, wish me happy landing. All I gotta do is jump!
So I have to wait an hour for my train, but at least the day is beautiful. What I find when I'm traveling is at least these guys are always friendly. Don't get me wrong, I mean there's a lot of friendly people in Morocco, but my God, you've got to avoid a lot of people. Your wallet, your bag, your phone, everything is always being eyed up by certain people. Not everyone, I'm saying, but some people are eyeing them up. These guys are the innocents. These guys you can trust. I'm in a taxi called Petite Taxi. It's a Peugeot 205. My first ever car, Peugeot 205. It's nice to be in the old car again. Sorry.
That's okay. This is the square, Place La Ville.
Okay. Beautiful. Hey, so I've arrived at the Riyadh Attica, and this is the rooftop to the Attica. Look at this. It's one of the highest points in the city. there's maybe 2 riads slightly taller than this. I'll sort of pan around so you can see them. There's one that's slightly taller, and then there's that red one, which is I think at least 5 feet taller. But right behind me is one of the palaces, with sort of the green. That's I'll be trying to head to there later, and I'm basically right in the middle of the Medina, which is very narrow streets. Obviously after dark, yeah, a little bit like Fez, I can imagine, could be sketchy, but so far so good. Everyone, no problems this time, and long may that continue. So that hopefully we're in for a treat here. And inside it's beautiful. I'm going to try and film a little bit inside, but I have this beautiful little room. It has a nice little bathroom ensuite, has a sofa, and down here you can see is a sort of, what I will show you later is the sort of the typical thing of most riads, the sort of middle parts where everyone sort of sits around and has tea. And last one was more of a courtyard. This one is a sort of well, it's a sort of terrace inside a house, which is a very tall house. There's my bag. It's a little ensuite. It's very nice.
ما عقلتش.
One thing I like to do when I'm in places like this is obviously buy bananas. You may have seen me buying bananas in previous videos. One dirham for a banana here. Just on the edge of the, sort of the old city, old walls behind me. Very crazy. I have to admit, I haven't seen one European or Westerner yet. In Fez, I saw lots. In Meknès, I've seen none. Maybe I'm just not looking hard enough. I'll tell you when I do see one though. So here we are, it's about 4:30. I'm about to meet an old friend actually. So I'm standing outside the Bab Masul. I think that's how you pronounce it. But it's basically behind these walls. There's a palace that's not used anymore, but so it's just only armed by guards. But if you look around this square is immense in a way. I mean, there's so much random stuff going on. The crowd here, some guy's trying to hustle for some magic trick or something, and people are gambling on it. There's the typical sort of pony rides. There's well, just observe really. And as they would say in Mexico, I seem to be the only gringo here. I have not spotted a single tourist yet. The giveaway though is people doing selfies. I think there might be one tourist just here, Indian guy. That's the first. Oh, actually no. I've just spotted one behind me. There we go. First tourist I've seen. But yeah, this is certainly interesting. I mean, it is very interesting in fact. It's real? Shit. No. It's Cobra, yeah? Cobra. No, I'm what is it? Snake? No.
Snake?
No, it's good. It's good.
Nice.
No, it's good.
Come on.
No. I was mentioning that there were no tourists. Literally, I'm standing where the buses are basically dropping off all the tourists. Check out all the Chinese tourists. This is quite comical actually on my travels. This seems to be the only way that Chinese people travel. No, obviously not true for everyone, but they basically get off the bus. They all take the obligatory photo, just like you see there, and then they get back on the bus again. I'm expecting them to be here for about 10 minutes.
Carl is the architect who's the
Okay.
Is the architect, he's a Portuguese architect.
So I'm actually underneath the gates that I was waiting by, and this used to be a prison cell, so people would be brought down here, and you can see the air vents above me. This is how the only ventilation they would have had down here. But it smells quite pleasant now, but you can imagine that back in the day when people were chained up, probably next to each other, all over the place, it probably reeked. But now, it's an art gallery. It's quite nice, isn't it? So just sort of touring around the art gallery. There's a couple of guards sort of keep watch, but it's a beautiful place. Just but without sudden moves. He's like,
No food, no more food.
good to meet you, man. Good to meet you.
So cute.
Hello, I'm Mr. Red.
Hey, so it's day 4 here in Morocco. Just got a taxi from Meknes to this other place, and then we had to get another taxi. We paid a little bit of money, and Rima
Hey,
is going to explain what this place is. Where are we?
we are in Volubilis. It's Walili in Arabic, and it's Roman ruins. Yeah.
Roman ruins.
Yeah.
And we can just about see it on the. We pan across behind us. These are some very ancient Roman ruins, so I'm looking forward to this. I haven't had enough Roman ruins recently, so this is going to be good. So this is the flower Volubilis, which is what this place is named after. Clearly these. Burning glory.
Morning glory.
Ah, morning glory.
Silati.
What's the starry morning glory? Yeah. And this is where we are. How's yours look?
Welcome to my crib.
Let's go. So right behind me is the beautiful, I'm going to say it completely wrong,
Volubilis.
Volubilis. There we go. And it dates back all the way to the 2nd century, and it sort of began to disappear around the 8th century. And then they lost it. They were like people living over there. The founder of Islam in Morocco used to live over there. They forgot about it. How could you miss that? However, we see it now. It's very beautiful. You can imagine.
She's happy. How happy she is. This is my kitty.
راه تعطيوها الصالير اللي بغا.
كيفاش الصالير اللي
يعني بحال تقولي وصلتي ستوب، حيت غير ستاج راه باش يقبلوك غير في ستاج راه ما هي ولونوها.
خصك تكون شنو هي؟
سيدي مولي.
المهم
واحد الاخر تيصور.
عاد شفتو.
The Romans sure did things well. Right behind me are the ancient thermal baths. Obviously, this place was half destroyed by a earthquake back in the 18th. Well, back in the 18th century, it was a large earthquake, but I fear this place was destroyed well before that. But very, very beautiful place. What's amazing is you can basically walk all around these monuments. What's interesting, this is the best thing I've seen actually. Look up here. This is a crane's nest. Beautiful birds that you see all over Morocco. One has decided to nest on top of one of these columns. No crane there at the moment, but they might come back at night time. So, like in all Roman cities, if you've been to Pompeii, you'll recognise this symbol. If you've been in any classroom with boys, you'll recognise this symbol. If you've walked past graffiti, you will recognise this symbol. If you're 50% of the population, you'll recognise this symbol. This lets us know that this room was a whorehouse. The size of that one, definitely African. Very impressive.
Here's their aquarium.
Video.
How many followers do you have? This used to be the Champs-Élysées.
So, I've been to Pompeii, and this is comparable to Pompeii. Pompeii blew my mind, and this place is... There's a few less dicks in the floor, but this place is incredibly impressive. I mean, it's huge. Apparently only sort of 80%, less than... Well, 80% of it is still yet to be excavated. I mean, obviously they've excavated the main parts. I mean, the only thing that's saddening is the fact that people can effectively walk all around the place, which is effectively damaging what this is. There's no security, but it's just phenomenally beautiful. And if you're ever, near Fez or Meknes, this is a place to visit. Your shadow's ruining my picture. Amazing.
Yalla. And now he's like, I'm done now. I'm in. In the Medina.
I'm staying in the Medina. Last time I was in...
So just climbed about 300 steps to get up to the top of here, this amazing view. And right behind me is the Maladris Mosque. Obviously a lot of people, as we can see over there, will be trying to get you onto the top of the terrace for a small charge. Beautiful day. It's got really hot again. I'm now overdressed. Not because of the climb, but I was hot before we even started climbing. And this is certainly a picturesque place. So this is say hi. Okay. This is how we write. There's two behind me. So I spent the last 24 to 48 hours being sick, so now I'm going to be trying to make a move. Unfortunately I haven't been able to do everything I wanted to do. I wanted to plan to see some monkeys. Don't think I'll be doing that now. It's a shame. I was quite looking forward to that. Now I've got to decide which direction I'm going to. Do I go to the Blue City, which is slightly out of the way, or do I head towards Rabat? Because I need to get... I only have a limited amount of time. Sickness is a problem. I just headed out to get some cash so I could pay the lady at my riad. I didn't obviously have enough cash, but what's interesting, because it's Friday, this place would normally be bustling. It's about 12 o'clock, but if you see, everything is basically closed. The simple reason being it's Friday prayer, so people pack up their stalls for Friday prayer, basically. It is bizarre how many times one has to say God is great to sort of prove your worthiness into heaven, and you'll get your 72 virgins. It is noise pollution at the end of the day. Hey, so I've just arrived in Rabat. What I normally do when I arrive somewhere, and sometimes before I arrive somewhere, I generally book the accommodation. I just booked it just now, sadly a little bit late. Turns out there isn't much accommodation in Rabat. It seems the capital city, and there seems to be like 46 hotels in Rabat. Over half of those are booked. It might be regretful coming here, but it will be a shame not to check out the capital city of a country. So this is why I'm here. Decided to stay 2 nights, and now I must navigate the noise after I've had my cup of coffee to find my accommodation. It's about 1 kilometer from here, according to Google Maps.
Hey, so I'm in Rabat. It's the first full day I'm here. Excuse the sunglasses. My eyes are hypersensitive to sunlight. I squint. One could say like a mother F. I won't use the word. When the sun is slightly bright, it's overcast and the sun is too bright for me right now. So my mission is to basically try and blitz the city today. Feeling tired. Still trying to get over still trying to get over the food poisoning that was inflicted upon me where was I? Yeah, no, in Meknes, and and I was also, as standard, woken up at 5 a.m. by the call to prayer. Not my prayer, but call to prayer. My hotel is right next to a mosque. Hey, so I'm down on Rabat Beach, if you can call it a beach. There's a beach basically just over there, sort of the cove, basically, the beach. But what's interesting, there's all these little graves. You see the graves just here? I thought that was it. Turn around, as you probably would have just seen. All of these graves, massive graveyard, just sort of spanning right around that corner. Not the most sort of it's not exactly an amusement beach, that's for sure. But that, as you obviously know, is the Atlantic Ocean. Rabat has been known to be quite good for surfing. I'm not sure exactly where the breaks are, but could be over that way, could be that way. But I'm going to basically, try and find. There's some surfers that live in Rabat, and maybe they can give me some information. I'm certainly not going to be doing any surfing after my food poisoning, but it is possible to surf down here on good days. Oh, and just for your guide, right behind me is the Casbah, basically a fortress, brilliant sort of place to position yourself. You can see all of the Atlantic. You'd be able to see the passing ships as they pass around the sort of the west coast of Africa, out of the Mediterranean. This would be an ideal spot. So I'm now going to go inside and here's the cliche, go rock the Casbah. inside the Casbah is basically lots of little houses that are covered in blue, a little bit like the blue city that I sadly didn't get to due to my food poisoning. However, I did read in the guidebooks that all the streets are sort of painted blue, a little bit like that what you just saw. I'm now in the gardens connected to the Casbah, and it's basically a cat paradise. As you see, there's cats, and there's cats all around me. I don't think many people have a phobia for cats, but if they did, this is not the place for them. It's quite a pleasant little place. It's sort of the best way to describe it would be sort of a botanical gardens, because obviously in the summer when it's warm here, it becomes very tropical, obviously very dry, I imagine, but there's sort of a very well laid out gardens, and as you can see behind me, orange trees. Plentiful in Morocco, by the way. If you like oranges, there's a lot of oranges in Morocco. Hello.
How about this party, Benny? Boy, ain't it a pip? I figure we ought to hold one every week.
Sure thing, TC. And get the blood of my chicken next time. This is delicious.
You better not eat too much, Benny. We got some chop suey with lychee nut sauce for dessert.
So I've just exited the city walls of the Casbah. What's interesting, it's been built on sandstone. You can see all of the layers of sediment in this sandstone. This is millions of years of history that now a fairly impressive little Casbah stash, little town inside the capital city is resting upon. Amazing to think that some microorganism going about its own business is basically holding up a part of history.
Right to us.
Right, yeah, I see him. I see him.
He's coming down the street, he's coming north towards the square. I'm gonna hang back. I'm hanging back.
All right, I'll let you know what he's doing.
All right. Keep an eye on him for me, all right?
Okay, he stopped right in front of the cafe. He's walking right up.
Listen, Bassam.
Yeah.
There is a black van heading this way with some pretty dangerous-looking guys. They're staring right at him.
As you could see from a previous shot, some of the Medina is in a mess, with the floor being basically mud and very messy to walk around. But here is a whole long corridor where the carpenters are hard at work, basically trying to make the place nicer. and I can see when it is finished it will look potentially very nice. So, you know, there is room for improvement here. So I'm in the Museum of Contemporary Modern Arts. Only problem is all of the descriptions are either in Arabic or French. Now, it's okay, my French is so-so, but if you expect it to be English, it's not going to happen. It costs 3 dinars to get in. It's about €3. And so far, some impressive pieces. So that was the Museum of Contemporary Arts. Yeah, nice museum. It took up about 45 minutes of my time. I have to admit I'm a little bit disappointed with my progress today. The food poisoning I've been battling the last couple of days still has some sort of effect on me. I had to rest, which is not ideal. I basically haven't blitzed as much of the city as I'd have liked, and now I'm well, sorry, I just got looked at by some army men there. There they are. I haven't seen half of what I wanted to see today, which is disappointing, but we keep trying. Okay, just a recap of what I've seen today. I have to admit, I am incredibly disorientated. not disorientated by the city, but just disorientated because food poisoning really has knocked me out. I saw the Medina with all the with all the shops, with all the people selling their goods, as you would expect, very Moroccan. I also saw, what else did I also see? Hang on, I had to just be careful with my phone there. Starting again, a few dodgy looks. Okay, I saw some turtles for sale, or tortoises for sale actually. I saw some tortoises for sale. Very sad. People shouldn't be buying these, people shouldn't be selling these.
Can you identify any of these guys?
No, I've never seen these guys before.
We gotta move.
I thought you said you could find him.
I said I could locate him. You have to find him.
Right.
Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine.
Okay, so Morocco has not been the trip that I was hoping for. Food poisoning has hit me twice. It's not good. It means, as I'm sure you all know, when you get food poisoning, you can't do everything that you want to do. So the reality is, this is an incredibly disappointing video, and yeah, it says it all. I just went to Rick's bar. If my stomach was an older, I would have sat by the bar and had a whiskey. But instead, I tried to eat a little bit. I'm not sure if that was good or bad. The food was okay, and the atmosphere. A lot of tourists taking pictures. The dinner area was nice. I do recommend it. Taxis outside, unfortunate. A journey from here to there should really cost about 5 dirham. 10 if they're sort of pushing their luck. I came outside, they were quoting me 100. This is the ridiculous thing when you basically go to a tourist trap. The taxi drivers will basically sort of congregate outside, basically trying to sort of con rich tourists. Okay, so my brief stay in Casablanca basically consisted of going to Rick's bar. Nice bar. I can't really capture what the bar was like, but it was a nice bar. And the #1 tourist destination in Casablanca is a massive mosque. Now, given the fact that I'm not Muslim, and there's probably only a small window to go into this mosque, I'm not going to go there. Yes, there's a bit more to see in Casablanca than most people suggest there is. Does it feel safe? No, it feels incredibly unsafe, especially at night time. During the day, it's pleasant. I don't think there's any problems during the day. But at night time, you do not want to be walking around. I walked around briefly last night. It just felt very edgy. The streets were very dark. There was crowded areas like this. This is one of the main squares, sort of next to the Hyatt Hotel. But yeah, I don't know. Casablanca, like a lot of Morocco, needs a lot of work done to it. The culture needs to change. The safety needs to change. Rather than sort of military personnel with machine guns, we need to see a few police officers maybe doing their job. See, right now I'm at the main station. You can see it's quite a pretty building, just there. I'm going to take a train to Marrakesh, so I'm looking forward to that. Marrakesh is obviously a very hyped tourist destination. Basically has a better reputation than anywhere else in Morocco. What you see behind me is all the new development that's happening in Casablanca. So there are sections that potentially could change the city and make it a sort of nicer place. But it's just this sort of section. It feels a little bit like, well, the startings of Canary Wharf around here. Very, very startings of Canary Wharf. And when you head elsewhere, it feels like Tower Hamlets.
Hang on!
I think one of the things that irritates me about this country is the number of people trying to con me. I just made the mistake of going to the wrong station, so I had to go to Casa Voyages as opposed to the other station, which is the one I arrived in from Rabat. So I look on Google Maps. The journey with traffic should have taken 11 minutes. I even had Google Maps open in front of me. I pointed it at the guy and said, "This is where I want to go. I want to go to Casa Voyages." The guy then started driving around half the city trying to pick up people, but in the complete opposite direction. And then suddenly I was, rather than 11 minutes away from my destination, I was 30 minutes away from my destination. So the guy's trying to rack up a taxi meter and also try and pick other people up in the process. Fortunately, nobody else got picked up in the process, but he certainly racked up the meter. And this is, it's endless. Every single time I interact with someone, they're trying to con me. Every single person.
Louis, have your man go with Mr. Laszlo and take care of his luggage.
Certainly, Rick. Anything you say.
You have any idea what you'd have to look forward to if you stayed here? 9 chances out of 10, we'd both wind up at a concentration camp. Isn't that true, Louis?
I'm afraid Major Strasser would insist.
If that plane leaves the ground and you're not with him, you'll regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon and for the rest of your life.
But what about us?
We'll always have Paris. We didn't have, we lost it until you came to Casablanca. We got it back last night.
When I said I would never leave you.
And you never will. But I've got a job to do, too. Where I'm going, you can't follow. What I've got to do, you can't be any part of. He's looking at you, kid.